Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that be linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. How beautiful is today in New Jersey? I thought what I'd do is I'd come outside rather than being inside today because it's such a beautiful day. And yeah, listen, just lounging and looking forward to the game that's taking place. Massive friendly, Arsenal versus Manchester United. And there's a real buzz around the place at the moment. I was at this event last night where there was over 2,000 Arsenal fans from all over America. There was even fans that had flown in from the UK, all there just celebrating Arsenal, having a drink, talking to each other about it. It was absolutely amazing. Big up to Arsenal America and all the guys who kept that event at Union Square. That was an absolutely incredible event. And there's a real buzz around the place, a real buzz around all the new signings, a real buzz around what they feel Arsenal can do this season. It was really incredible. So everybody really excited for that game. And also, I was lucky enough yesterday to get into the Arsenal press conference, which had Mikel Arteta and Alexander Zinchenko. Zinchenko was brilliant. Spoke a lot about the problems that are going on in Ukraine. I mean, this guy, we don't understand how incredible a footballer he is right now. The fact that he's having to play football and doing so well when all those problems are going on in his homeland. I mean, it must be really hard, but he spoke brilliantly. And of course, Mikel Arteta was there and he was being asked many questions regarding Arsenal's season. He was asked about transfers, and what he said about that is that, listen, Arsenal are still looking, they're still active, but he was saying that the transfer window in about the past week or so has been a bit quiet, but there's a long way to go. And he's talked about how there's still going to be ins and outs. And it's quite obvious that there are definitely going to be some players leaving. There's definitely going to be some players, of course, possibly coming in before the end of the transfer window. He was also asked a very specific question by a journalist who was sat just next to me. He was from Ghana, right? He was straight to the point. He asked Mikel Arteta, he said, he and also many people in Ghana want to know, is Thomas Partey staying at Arsenal? He asked it he asked it plain. No going around the corners or anything. Is Thomas Partey staying at Arsenal? And very interesting answer by Mikel Arteta, because basically he said yes, he's staying. He's got no intention of selling him. He's never had any intention of selling him. He sees him as a player that he wants to play with Declan Rice, and that not that Declan Rice has been brought in to replace him. He feels that he wants Partey and Rice to play together. And he said, he goes, Thomas Partey is a very important player in the Arsenal team, and he's not looking to sell him. So, I mean, I was even quite surprised. It's just quite clear on it that, Partey is not for sale. Now, we know there's been loads of rumours going around. They started, a few weeks ago saying that Partey was going to leave. Juventus wanted him. He was wanted by all these clubs in Saudi Arabia. Nothing's really materialised. There hasn't been any bids or anything. Then, of course, he didn't come on the tour straight away. He only just joined up with the tour in recent days. And so the rumours intensified again that Thomas Partey was definitely going to be leaving Arsenal. But honestly, quite clear in the press conference, Mikel Arteta sat in front of me and he's saying he is not going. Now, I feel that that's quite clear that he wants him to stay. The big test will be if a big bid comes in for Thomas Partey. If, say, for instance, a bid of £50 million came in for Thomas Partey, and I can only really see that coming from one of those clubs in Saudi Arabia. I don't see a Juventus or another club in Europe bidding £50 million plus for Thomas Partey in this transfer window. I can see a bid like that being made from Saudi Arabia, but I don't think Arsenal are going to sell him unless they get a bid of that sort of money in, because to replace him, your Lavias, your Caicedos, these sort of players are going to cost a hell of a lot of money. Even yesterday, when I was speaking about Douglas Luiz and the fact that Arsenal are keeping an eye on that situation, that would be at least £40 million. So, you know, and is Douglas Luiz better than Thomas Partey? So I think Mikel Arteta's looking on it and saying, let's just keep this guy, and you know what I mean, let's just try and get him and Rice playing together. So that would be really, really interesting to see if he does end up staying, and you know, Thomas Partey come the 1st of September is still an Arsenal player. There was another question asked in the press conference by a guy that was sat right next to me, Curtis Shaw of Curtis Shaw TV. He was there as well, and he asked a question to Mikel Arteta. He said to Arteta, right, and this may sound, it might have sounded like a crazy question, but it's very, very relevant, right? Are Arsenal interested in signing Kylian Mbappe? Now, you've seen all the rumours. All the rumours flying around about Kylian Mbappe, about the fact that he didn't go on the tour to Japan with PSG. PSG now are openly saying they want to sell. You know, they know that Mbappe is refusing to sign a new deal. They haven't been able to persuade him. There's rumours yesterday that they could possibly offer him a 10-year contract worth £1 billion and all kind of things. But Mbappe does not want to sign a new contract. He wants to see his contract out, and let's be real, he wants to go to Real Madrid. But could that sort of change, and could the circumstances change around that if, as what looks like happening now, he is being forced out of PSG because he doesn't want to sign a new contract? So they're like, yo, we don't want you to stay till the end of that. Just go now, and let's see if we can get the most amount of money for you, because we don't want you walking away for free. Now, Mikel Arteta, when asked that question about Mbappe, said, we don't like to comment on other players. That's sort of his standard question when he's asked transfer rumours. But listen, he could quite easily, it's been a bit mischievous here, he could quite easily have just said, well, come on, no, we're not interested. It'd be too expensive, we just don't have that. And if he said that, everybody would be cool with that. But he didn't. He sort of gave that answer where he kind of left it open that you never know, it could be a possibility. Now, again, to get a deal like this done would be absolutely humongous. You know, it's not so much the fee that you'd have to pay for him, but it's the wages would be absolutely incredible. What would happen to players like Martinelli? You know, there'd be so many permutations. Do you want a player like Kylian Mbappe in your team? Now, it sounds ridiculous to say that, because personally, I feel right now in world football, he's the best player in the world. But do you want that? Do you want all the drama that goes on around that? You know what I mean? What when he comes in and then after a couple of years he wants to go Madrid, and did you know, look at the drama around PSG at the moment. You really would be buying a player that can possibly be bigger than a club, you know. But the question was asked, and I want to put it out there to you guys. Would you want Mbappe at Arsenal? And is it an impossible deal? Because the rumours are saying that there's 2 English Premier League clubs that are interested in signing Mbappe. One of them I heard was Man City yesterday, and I'm hoping that's not true, because if they got hold of him and Haaland, let's just cancel the league, right? But who would that other club be? There's been rumours about Chelsea, but how? No Champions League football. I think that's absolutely impossible that Mbappe would go to a club without Champions League football. Mbappe has said already that if the club he prefers in England is Arsenal, right? And as I said, it would be humongous wages, but could also afford that right now. I know it sounds impossible, but let's see how it develops. Personally, I think he's going to end up at Real Madrid. But as I said, Mikel Arteta didn't completely discount it, did he? He didn't say it's an absolute no, so who knows? Let's bring it a bit down to earth now, right? Arsenal linked again today with Bitello. I've spoken many times about him, the midfielder who plays for Grêmio. Radio Guabilha's, I think that's Brazilian radio stations, Rafael Pfeiffer, claiming that Arsenal are going to make their first formal offer to bring in Bitello over the next few days. So that's been one that's been rumbling on all this week, where this Bitello rumour, where it came out of nowhere, that Arsenal are willing to bid. Can't discount this one, even though the owner of Gremio said, listen, there's quite a few clubs interested in his signature. He didn't name who, but could Arsenal be about to make a formal offer for him over the next few days? Gonna have to wait and see how that works out. And Nuno Tavares today being linked with a move to PSG. Could he be the Mbappe replacement? Could that be a swap deal? Nuno Tavares plus cash for Kylian Mbappe. But he's been linked by the outlet called Relevo. They claim that PSG are very keen on signing Nuno Tavares if the fullback Juan Bernat leaves. If Juan Bernat leaves the club this summer, they would be interested in signing Nuno Tavares as a replacement. Nuno Tavares, of course, is not on the tour of the US. He is a player that Arsenal want to cash in on, that they do want to sell, and PSG said to be interested. So let's see how that one develops out. So those are the rumours for today. Looking forward to the game here over in the States. Arsenal taking on Manchester United. Remember, we're doing a watch along to it back in the UK. So make sure you check that out. And also, don't forget that I'm going to be speaking to fans both before and after the game. Really, really looking forward to that. It's at the MetLife Stadium. Was down there yesterday. Huge stadium, sold out. I think it holds nearly 80,000 fans. Completely sold out. It's going to be brilliant today. And if you want to find out all of it from a fan's perspective, make sure you check it out here on AFTV. Thanks for watching the show, and I'll see you tomorrow.